Welcome to Inside the Lines, presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. He's Jared Smith. I'm Ariel Epstein. We're breaking down some games here in the NBA to make you some cash. First, the New York Knicks are on the road tonight as 4.5-point dogs in Atlanta facing the Hawks, total 226.5. The Knicks are on a 4-game winning streak, their longest winning streak, Jared, since 2017. What are the Knicks doing so well right now?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of things well right now. In fact, they're tied with the Milwaukee Bucks for the longest active against the spread streak in the NBA. It's not often we liken the Knicks to the Bucks, but that's what they're doing. How about Wayne Ellington last night against Detroit? A season-high 17 points against his former team. I heard he was getting up shots in the Pistons practice facility last night. So interesting stuff with Ellington. We're starting to see a little bit of the rotations change with no Marcus Morris. Maybe Ellington is filling that role for the Knicks. However, we are probably going to see Clint Capella tonight for Atlanta in his first game since being traded for Houston. So, again, the matchups kind of change. The rotations change post-trade deadline. We'll see how things shake out. But a tough spot for the Knicks tonight. Second of a back-to-back in Detroit last night. Now they're in Atlanta. A very tough spot. That's why we've seen this line move so much.
Speaking of Capella, how does Capella fit into this Atlanta Hawks team?
Oh, well, you've got Trae Young, and now you've got Capella, a little pick-and-roll action maybe. And the Hawks have been a really good shooting team this season. In fact, they scored 120 against the Knicks the last time they played them. The only problem was the Knicks scored 143. Young had 42 in that game. I really like that pick-and-roll action at the top. You've got Kevin Huerter as well. He is a really good shooter, so it's going to be tough to kind of defend both the line and the paint for the Knicks with this inside-outside presence for Atlanta.
We'll be previewing some more games here on Inside the Lines. Coming up next, we're presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Stay tuned.
They say less is more, but we believe more is more. That's why we built FanDuel Sportsbook with more ways to bet, more ways to fund your account, more ways to cash in, and more ways to cash out, with payouts delivered straight to your bank account in as little as 48 hours. You want more? You got it. Join today and get a risk-free bet worth up to $500. FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Welcome back to Inside the Lines, presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook, alongside Jared Smith. I'm Ariel Epstein. The Utah Jazz are at the Houston Rockets tonight. The Rockets now 4-point favorites with the total at 232.5. This line has moved now, Jared. It's in favor of the Rockets. It moved from 3.5 now to 4. Why?
Yeah, interesting spot. Rockets coming off their worst loss of the year. They gave up 46 points in the first quarter against the Suns. That, of course, on the heels of that big upset win against the Lakers. The Jazz, on the other hand, they've been struggling 0-6-1 against the number in their last 7 games. They were very fortunate to win that game the other night against the Portland Trail Blazers. Kind of a controversial play at the end there with Rudy Gobert blocking what would have been a goaltend that would have tied the game for Damian Lillard. Speaking of Gobert, the Rockets are playing that very small lineup, 6'6" and under. We played the Anthony Davis prop the other night, points and rebounds over against Houston. That hit very easily. I like Gobert again today, 32.5 points and rebounds over. And again, you can hedge that a little bit by taking the Rockets -4. That's how I'm playing this game.
I actually like the under in this game at 232.5. We've seen it go from 233.5 down to as low as 231 in some places, now sitting at 232.5. The last game we're going to be previewing, the Miami Heat are on the road at the Portland Trail Blazers. The Trail Blazers 5-point favorites with the total at 228. How much does Portland being favored have to do with Damian Lillard's hot streak? 40 or more points in 6 of his last 9 games.
I'll tell you what, if Portland finds a way to get into the postseason, Damian Lillard has now inserted himself into the MVP discussion. Interesting note in this game, no Jimmy Butler. The Heat actually have been an over team without Butler in the lineup, 5-2 to the over without Jimmy buckets. I like the over in this matchup as well. The Heat, a very good 3-point shooting team. The Blazers, not a good team at defending the arc.
I do like the Blazers in this game, though, especially Andre Iguodala might play the Miami Heat. However, we've seen sometimes with teams having to welcome new faces. It might mess up the way that teams might be operating. It's Dollar Holla time. It's our long shot bets. I'm going to go first this time. I'm going to take James Harden over 40 points and a Houston Rockets win. That is now at plus 540. Jared?
All right, we're going to go with a big one here tonight. The Grizzlies, they're in D.C. taking on the Wizards. I like Ja Morant, 25 points or more, and the Grizzlies win. They're 8-2 coming off of a loss. How about this one? Plus 780. That's a big-time sprinkle.
It is a big-time sprinkle, but I like it. I like it. Thanks for joining us here on Inside the Lines, presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Knicks game night coming up next.